何はい出ます今出ますすぐ出ます飛んどるこれ早く動いてもうどれだもしもし
Good morning.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. My name is Muhammad Yazid bin Rahman with metric number D2021111000794. I'm here this evening to talk about an ethical issue of gene modification on human. In this talk, my objective is to elaborate the implication and talk about my opinion of ethical issue on gene modification. I want to take this opportunity to thank to my lecturer for allowing me to take part in this subject for my semester 2. Our topic today is gene modification on human. Genome engineering has a massive and great history of human life, which outline on how industry helped in determining human study on genetics, starting from discovery of double helix until the invention of the CRISPR edits. Human genes editing, which is a technique to modify DNA in the genome, has a lot of surprise to us, such as the case of Lulu and Nana, the CRISPR babies. At first, they expected to be immune on HIV, but end up with not necessarily immune to HIV and accidentally born with altered copies of gene known as CCR5. According to National Human Genome Research Institute website, they wrote the most bioethic and also researchers believe that human genome editing for reproductive purpose should not be tried again, but that studies must be continued in order to know more about the studies. There were a lot of researchers and ethicists who have written and spoken about genome editing, which at first agreed found germline genome editing through research, but they will not agree on the using of genome editing in the clinical reproductive uses. This was totally about the consequences risks. As we can say on this disease carrying forward, if we look both parents that homozygous for a disease causing variant, so their children would be expected to have disease also, and it already happened as we can see, which is the case of Lulu and Nana. The CRISPR babies that carrying CCR5 gene that entirely new and unknown their function in human being context, which means they are the experiment test, or we could say lab rat. This technique of genetic medical treatment actually can vastly increase the quality of cancer treatment. However, each action has their risks itself. It is a very powerful technology that can renew medical treatment on humans, but it also can harm humanity itself from their inequality in genetic development. For example, during human reproductive genome editing, their germline and heritable genome editing could lead and pass it on the subsequent generation, which means could lead to a bigger effect in humanity itself in the future. This risk has been mentioned by their founder itself, J. Doudna, I don't know how to say this, that recognized that CRISPR carries with great risk, which is the unknown consequences of embryo editing. The other implication that we can see on the human genome editing in ethical concern is it will lead to the injustice and equality in human life in the future. It is because of the use of the genome editing method will applicable and accessible to the wealthy one, and it will cause creating classes of individuals that will classify on the quality of their engineered genome, and this would lead to misery in human future. Like as Dr. Jassim from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center said, that the negative consequences of this genome editing were actually disastrous. It is actually not repairing gene in the embryo, but the effect after that will we have a few changing in the genome which could lead into various negative effects to the child that carrying the gene. As we can see, on the other side of preparation, I would say that this genome editing method actually can be used in a lot of good way rather than being used for reproductive genome editing. Also, I would say that one day this genome editing method could be a great way to prevent serious genetic disorder, but for now, it is too risky to be used especially on human being embryo. For now, it can be used better for creating cattle without horn or vegetable use, but not human use, as long as the researchers are still saying on how and when to use the gene therapy. That's all from me. I will say thank you. See you later.